There is an enemy you have never seen. It has no face, no army. It has never fired a shot, and it has defeated more people than every war in history combined. It only loses to those who know its name. A writer named Stephen Pressfield finally gave it a name. He called it resistance. Not armies, not governments, the one inside you, the force that rises the instant you try to become more than you are. The voice at 5 a.m. that says, tomorrow. The sudden need to tidy your desk instead of write the page. Resistance doesn't hunt the weak.
Resistance is the most toxic force on the planet.
Resistance is a shapeshifter. It almost never shows up as itself. It comes to you as a reasonable voice. Just a little more research before you start. The desk isn't clean enough to work yet. You'll feel more ready tomorrow. It dresses fear up as logic and quitting up as patience. Every one of those voices is the same enemy, wearing a different mask.
Rationalization is resistance's right-hand man.
Here is the cruelest part. Resistance does not waste itself on the lazy. It hunts the gifted. The bigger the dream, the higher the calling, the more force it sends to stop you. The dream that scares you most is the one you were built for. That fear is not a wall, it is a map. 2,000 years ago, a Roman emperor fought it on a battlefield and inside his own head at the same time. Marcus Aurelius commanded armies, buried his children, held together an empire that was rotting around him, and every night he wrote. Not about victory, about the war within. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. He had already won the only war that matters, the one against his own resistance.
The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way.
Forget being good for a moment. This is not about virtue. Stirner argued that the only thing truly yours is your own will. Every later, every I can't is a ghost you have chosen to kneel to. Ayn Rand built a whole philosophy on a single refusal, to live for anything but her own becoming. Beating resistance is not a moral act. It is the most selfish thing you will ever do, and the most necessary.
The question isn't who is going to let me, it's who is going to stop me.
Resistance fears one thing above all, the long work. The cathedral you begin knowing you'll die before it's finished. The book, the company, the body, the craft that takes 10 years before a single person claps. This is where it whispers loudest. What's the point? You'll never see it done. The Greeks carved the answer in stone. A society grows great when old men plant trees in whose shade they will never sit. You build it anyway. Not for the applause, because building is how you beat the thing trying to stop you.
A society grows great when old men plant trees in whose shade they will never sit.
Nowhere is the war more honest than under a barbell. Mentzer trained to the exact point where the body screams stop, and then did one more. Louie Simmons spent 50 years proving that the last rep, the one you don't want, is the only one that builds anything. The iron cannot be charmed. It cannot be talked out of. You either move it, or you don't. Resistance has nowhere to hide under a barbell. That is why it works.
200 pounds is always 200 pounds.
It looks exactly the same today. A freezing street at 4 in the morning. One man, the dark, and a voice telling him to go back to bed. David Goggins calls it the governor, the part of the mind that quits at 40%. Different century, identical enemy. The Stoic on the field and the runner in the rain are fighting the same war. Resistance never upgraded its weapons. It never had to. Comfort still works on almost everyone. Pressfield drew one line that changes everything. The amateur and the professional feel the exact same fear. The amateur waits to feel ready. The professional shows up sick, tired, afraid, and uninspired, and does the work anyway. Turning pro costs nothing. It is simply the day you stop negotiating with the part of you that wants to quit.
The amateur waits for inspiration. The professional shows up.
Most of the time, resistance does not even have to fight you. It just has to keep you comfortable. A warm bed, a bright screen, one more episode, one more excuse. Comfort is the anesthesia it uses while it takes your life, one easy evening at a time. Nothing has ever been built from inside the comfort zone. Nothing ever will be. And know this. Resistance is strongest right before the breakthrough. The closer you get to finishing, the harder it fights. The last mile, the final chapter, the week before you launch. That surge of doubt is not a sign to stop. It is the enemy's last stand. Push there, and you win.
Resistance is most powerful at the finish line.
Here's the secret no one tells you. You do not kill resistance. You will not wake one morning to find it gone. The professional and the amateur feel the exact same fear. The difference is the professional stopped waiting for it to leave. You don't win the war. You win today. And then you wake up, the enemy is standing there again, and you beat it again. That repetition is greatness. There is nothing else. So, how do you fight something that never dies? You make it a daily practice. Andy Frisella calls it the power list. A few non-negotiable tasks, done every single day, no exceptions. You stop trusting motivation. You stop waiting for the mood. You name the work, you do the work, and you win the day. Stack enough one days, and resistance loses the only war it can lose, the one fought one day at a time. So here's your charge. Tonight, name it. The one thing resistance is using to stop you right now. You already know what it is. Write it down. Tomorrow, beat it. Then do it again. Name today's resistance and win the day. The war is never over, but it can be won, one day at a time.